Hi everybody, this is Rhys Barber from Audiology Associates. Thank you very much for watching our earwax removal video today. So we've got one patient in this compilation. What you'll see here is this patient has a very narrow opening to the ear canal. So we've got a lot of wax that's really embedded quite firmly into this canal as well. Lots of little tiny bits of hair in there, which is all binding everything together, which is going to hold that wax quite firmly together there. So what you can see, we've got the standard size ulnar tube in here. So we're holding the canal open using the endoscope, and then slowly popping the standard size ulnar tube in here. What I'm trying to do at the moment is lift the stickier parts of the wax away from the canal walls, which is going to help us to draw this out a little bit. Because the hair's in there, what happens though is we've got this front side of the wax here is really tough, and then you've got this kind of this stretchy layer in the middle, this softer layer in the middle. That's where the hair is causing most of the problems, because the hairs are all sort of intertwined into that soft squishy bit. So as we're pulling from the front end, it's actually we're struggling to draw that wax apart and pull it apart. So we've got the Jobson horn in here now, just trying to aim to go over the top of the wax here to pull down on this wax. Just slowing the video down here so you can see us taking away that little bit there. Just broken the front end away there. There we go. If we take a look behind that, now we've introduced a little bit of olive oil in here just to try and ease things along. On last night's video, a few people asked would olive oil have helped to remove some of that wax. The answer really is it may have helped to loosen it, but we'd have lost so much of the visual that it would have been really difficult to kind of peel that away effectively. You would have had to come out, clean the lens a lot. As you can see here, even where that canal is not quite as narrow as the one last night, you'll see that we're still struggling with the olive oil sticking to the little cilla on that, on those little hairs, those little tiny fine hairs on the outer part of the ear canal, which is going to cause a few problems with the visual we've got in here. See how it blurs the camera? You get this kind of blurring effect. So we're just trying to lift some of this wax away from the canal wall now. Just trying to draw it forwards if we can more than anything else. We know that the Jobson horn is quite effective at removing this, but we're going to need, because it's such a solid block in there, we need to kind of bring this down the canal to create the gap just above the wax. So we've got the top of the wax there. The canal is almost sitting right on top with a very small amount of a gap. So we haven't really got enough room to get the Jobson horn in effectively behind it to draw this down. Don't forget, if we're pushing through the gap and there's not enough room, we're just going to push that plug further in, which is going to make it more difficult to get back out again then. So just starting to loosen from the base of the canal here a little bit. If you are enjoying the videos, guys, please like, subscribe as well if you're not already subscribed. We post new earwax videos every Monday, Wednesday and Friday, so you'll get one of these coming up 3 times a week. I have to say hello to all our Canadian viewers as well. I keep talking about the US a lot. I've mentioned the Canadians quite a bit. Somebody mentioned in the comments if we could mention the Canadians as well. So you'll see it's really wedged in there. I'm trying my best to bring this forward. Look at that darker, deeper section of wax further in there. This front section, still lots and lots of hair. Really trying to hold on to it, wiggle this back and forth to try and draw this down the canal if we can. You can see it's just not much room in there. It's so stuck to the canal walls this time. Really difficult to maneuver this out. What we run the risk of, you see, if we break away a lot of the front end of this wax without drawing it forwards first, then we lose our leverage with the Jobson horn. If we sort of slice this down and draw that front section away, what's going to happen then is we have got that really tiny gap at the top, which is not going to allow us to get the Jobson horn in, and then it's going to be really difficult to maneuver that out, which is why I'm really trying to loosen and bring it forwards so we've got a better chance of getting this out in a much bigger plug. Really kind of, we can see just how stretchy this is. The very front section is just broken away. A little bit more olive oil gone in here. Now we've moved it forwards. The olive oil can get behind and really loosen this off the canal wall now. See, you can see the whole thing is just it's really starting to move, so you get a lot more movement to the wax. When it starts to unstick from these canal walls, imagine if you're just holding onto the center, just moving the center back and forth, the sides hold that in. But when you start to see the whole thing rock back and forth, you know you've managed to get that detachment there. Jobson horn is going to come and save the day in a second, so we're just going to try. I've got a few more looser bits of debris just on the outer part of the ear canal there, so we're just going to bring this down. It's just starting to move now. There, see how that whole thing was moving I was talking about? So now we can bring this forward. That's going to, the front section of this canal is going to be just that a little bit wider, so it's going to create that gap we're looking for now, just above the wax. This pain state is this was a really, really difficult one to get out. It was just so firmly wedged into this canal, really dried up, bound together with those little hairs, stuck to the canal walls. You couldn't really get much stickier than this, really. But now there it is. Just trying to wiggle it down the canal, looking at that. There we are. You can see the gap we've created now at the top. Jobson horn's going to come in to save the day on this one. We're just going to try and, you can see how I just push down that front section, trying to get as deep as I can in there. As we pull this forward, so you'll see all those little hairs breaking apart in there. You can see that much softer central section to the wax we were talking about earlier. So just drag that section down. It allows me to get behind that a little bit further, creating those gaps at the top of the canal. There it comes. Oh, just broke a bit off the front end. So let's see if we pulled it forwards. Let's get behind that top section there, trying to aim more centrally into the wax, so try and get a good pull on that central section. There we are. You can see the whole thing starting to move now. See that tacky, sticky nature to the middle of that wax there? Almost go. We're trying to get behind it again. So we've got half of this out in the canal at the moment, so sitting in the bowl of the ear. So we're just trying to get behind that next section to bring this down. There we are. It's there we go. So it's just plopped into the canal there. You can see how we've actually folded it forwards. We've brought it down the canal. So what we need to do is just get behind this next section. So just trying to just sneak behind that last bit of this front section here. Slowly kind of with a twisting motion to bring the Jobson horn around, to detach it from that canal wall. Not quite enough there. We've just taken that top layer away. So we're going to do the same thing again, which is going to pull this last section out here. There we go. And it's almost out. Can you see how we're having to strip the layers just to try and get to that harder section there? Now we've got behind that. You'll see the whole thing slide. Look how smooth it is where it's been sitting and stuck against the canal wall there. Out that pops. Big chunk. Okay. I wanted to point out this little white thing here. This is called an osteoma. So what you have here is basically, it's a bony growth. It's a benign tumor that you get in the ear canal. It's the kind of precursor to surfer's ear or swimmer's ear, where you get repeated exposure to sort of ocean water and you get this temperature change happening. It causes this kind of laying down of bone on top of bone, which causes these white bumps. On the whole, they're not really going to be that problematic, and you don't really need to do anything about them. But what you can get is if you start getting them and they're appearing in multiple places around the ear canal, what can happen is you actually bow the canal walls inwards, and you can start getting water and getting trapped down there, so you're more likely to get things like fungal infections, you're more likely to get just general outer ear infections as well. In worst case scenarios where these are really coming in together, you can have surgery to remove that. That one there, it's not really causing any problems. It's sitting up in that top left corner. It's not causing any restriction to the sort of movement of the wax generally. It's not trapping anything behind us. You can see the eardrum, you can see the ear canal quite open there. So we don't really need to do anything. We don't need to refer that on. We would keep an eye on that though, so maybe see that patient every year just to take a look at it, make sure it wasn't growing too far. And you're also looking, you tend to find they come in threes. So when you start to get one, you'll tend to find you get some more if you carry on with that repeated exposure to sort of your ocean swimming. They call it surfers here because the majority of people get this surfers or outdoor swimmers, those kind of hobbies. Well, I hope you enjoyed that video, guys. Something a bit more interesting for you to like, something a little bit different in there as well. I shall see you again on Friday. And as always, guys, take care of yourselves and one another, and we'll see you soon.